Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here again to bring another one of my digi kits. I mean, I literally feel kind of embarrassed to keep coming on so frequently with these, but I mean, obviously I'm making them, so obviously I need to kind of show them. So, and hopefully kind of feedback is more of you are pleased rather than not pleased that I'm constantly coming on showing them. Right, so this one is called Blue Haze. It's one of my full-size kits. And it comprises 10 pages of background pages, and it's got 10 pages of what I would call the main body of the kit, which contains all of your kind of ephemera pieces and things like that. It's downloaded in two separate PDF files. One is for the background pages and one is for the main body. The reason for that, and I say this every time, so I apologise if it's getting old now, but you can then set your background pages to print on the borderless setting for your printer. So then you will get them, you know, going right up to the edges of the paper. So that's kind of the reason for doing that. And then the ephemera pieces, obviously they'll be, you know, you would print them non-borderless. And obviously, of course, you can print them, you know, just certain pages. You don't have to print the whole lot. Now, just a quick word, and I have said this now a couple of times, I think. But I've had one or two people who've tried to print from just the preview without downloading the PDF file. And when they do that, it appears that then the background, rather than being white, is black. So should that happen, just check that you have downloaded the file and you've opened it in, you know, Acrobat or however else kind of it opens. You know, I don't know, kind of on Mac or anything like that. But yeah, don't kind of try and print it from the preview, because I think maybe the printer can't handle that and then it prints with a black background. So, right. So that bit over. So we'll just go on and have a kind of look through the kit. So the 10 background pages are as follows. And as I say, it's called Blue Haze, and it's all these gorgeous tones of, I suppose it's like a teal kind of colour, and a bright royal vibrant kind of blue. Lots of butterflies included in the kit, and I've actually included quite a lot of butterflies for separate kind of fussy cutting as well, so that you can kind of obviously, you know, print them out and kind of have them, you know, as individual elements. And obviously all of these massive butterflies on these background pages, I thought it would be quite fun to kind of fussy cut one of those out as well and kind of have one of those just massive on a page. So, you know, hopefully there's lots of scope for kind of playing and doing all different things with the kit itself. So I love the colours of this kit, and it wasn't until I actually finished it that it dawned on me that, you know, the lace that I showed in my craft with me recently, and I've brought it along here, I think it must have been completely in my subconscious, and, you know, I must have literally, you know, created the kit, I think, in order to try and use these laces. And it wasn't until I literally finished it and I thought, oh, I can use the lace now. So, you know, it wasn't deliberate, but clearly it was there in my subconscious, and, you know, that's kind of why I created it, I think. So that was the background pages. And so now going on to the kind of main body of the kit, all your ephemera pieces. As I say, there's 10 pages. I don't know how many actual individual elements, I haven't counted them, but lots and lots. So you've got kind of journaling cards, you've got kind of these shaped kind of tickets or labels, you know, kind of ephemera pieces there. You've got a kind of double-ended ticket here. You've got an oval piece. You've got more kind of journaling cards, but the, you know, the other way around, so more like postcards now. And then here you've got kind of a mixture of postcards and journaling cards there. A sort of medium-sized butterfly there to fussy cut out. And then here you've got a pocket, and you've got a kind of fun embellishment piece on a kind of banner placard kind of thing, and another one here. And you've got more butterflies here, different sizes there. And then on this one you've got another pocket, you've got a round tag, another little embellishment piece there, a ticket, and a different butterfly there for fussy cutting. Here you've got another pocket, got a round tag and again some tickets, different kind of styles. Then on this page you've got some tags here for you know, your projects, all kind of really pretty and coordinating. Tickets, more tickets, and then you've got some little postage stamps which I just thought were really kind of cute and pretty to use. And then on here you've got a couple more postage stamps, another journaling card, you've got a my mind's gone blank, a coin envelope there for folding, and you've got a kind of banner piece there, you know, for using, well, however you like really, but maybe a belly band or something like that. Here you've got another journaling card, a couple more butterflies for fuzzy cutting, and an envelope there, and on the kind of flap of the envelope it's just got one of the little round pieces there. And then on the final page of the body of the kit I've just included a couple of pieces which I've included these types of things in a few kits now, what I would kind of refer to as stationary kind of items. I just think they're really quite nice, and I've put them as the final page, and I think I'm right in saying I have done that wherever I've used these, so that you can print this on kind of normal copy paper, and you could obviously coffee dye it or not. I mean, obviously the paper itself has got a coffee dyed effect, but the back hasn't obviously been coffee dyed, so you may want to just coffee dye the back. And then they can be cut out, you know, as per like a piece of paper of stationery, and then you could just fold it over and pop it into your journal, or, you know, what have you. I mean, that's just a suggestion, obviously completely up to you how you use the kit. But the reason I've done it like that is obviously so that you could separate this out and print it kind of separately on a piece of paper, and you may want to print the rest of the kit on kind of thicker paper. So this is printed on white 160 GSM cardstock. Now I haven't coffee dyed any of this or anything, it's exactly as it came out, you know, from the printer, so I'm sure it would look lovely coffee dyed, and I haven't decided yet when I do come to use it whether I'm going to coffee dye it or leave it crisp, because I actually quite like it crisp. I think it's quite nice. So I thought we'd just come on and have a little bit of a play. I'm not going to kind of, you know, take up too much of your time, but, you know, if you watch my channel you'll know that I just can't resist having a bit of a play. So because we just talked about kind of cutting out one of the large butterflies, I thought we could do that as kind of a first thing, you know, to do. So I'm just going to take literally one of the background pages. This one has been printed onto the 160 GSM cardstock, so it is kind of more robust rather than being printed onto you know, just copy paper. And I just thought, let me just make this piece of paper smaller so that it's not kind of bashing into everything, and I'll find it a bit easier to cut the butterfly. Yeah, so I just thought this would be kind of cute to pop on a page as a kind of piece on itself, on its own. I have once or twice, I think, used massive butterflies, and I couldn't even tell you now where I've actually got them from actually in the past, but I must have acquired kind of massive butterflies from somewhere, or massive pieces anyway. And I don't know whether it's because I'm sometimes quite clumsy, as I've kind of said before, so handling very small items for me can be sometimes a little bit problematic. So for me it's kind of helpful to have larger things, but also I think they kind of make a big impact. I mean, I think small things are lovely, they look very pretty and delicate, and, you know, I guess there's a place for everything, isn't there? Whoops. But yeah, for me, I quite like working, you know, with quite biggish kind of things, and I think they create a lot of impact on a page then, and yeah, they're kind of easy to work with. So I don't necessarily, you know, that's not a rule, that's just something I'm saying today, I suppose. Right, let me just move this out of the way. I mean, actually, and that's another thing, kind of, you know, we all change day by day, I think. Sometimes, you know, what you fancy doing one day, you may fancy doing something completely different another day. So I'm just going to move the kit out of the way. But just to show you how that looks, I just love how that looks against just literally the coffee dyed paper just on its own. So obviously this is just a piece of coffee dyed paper that's just been folded over. It's not obviously stuck into a journal or anything like that. But to me, that just looks absolutely gorgeous. Just literally like that. I'm just holding that down now for a moment. Just like that, with kind of nothing else, you know, going on. I don't think you'd even need to do anything else. But you could kind of decorate up, say, the middle of the butterfly with some pearl trim or, you know, other trim. I've got this gorgeous teal type coloured lace. So, you know, you could kind of then just pop the butterfly on and then, oops, I think that's kind of upside down. And then just kind of have a bit of lace kind of going around, you know, at the corner. You could obviously add glitter to the butterfly or glossy accents or, you know, something like that. Or you could obviously, whoops, you know, if we kind of took a different coloured lace. So if I kind of went with this kit and decided not to ink the kit, but to have my kind of blank pages maybe coffee dyed, or maybe the backs of the background pages coffee dyed, you could kind of mix the white with the coffee dye. So this is just some white lace trim that I've got here. And then I've just got literally a little piece of diamante kind of just from an offcut. So I'm just going to lift that up to kind of show you, because I don't know how well you can see this. I mean, obviously this is not glued down. You know, I'm just kind of giving you, as per that lovely comment from a few weeks ago, just nuggets of ideas really of how to kind of use the kit and, you know, things that you could do. So that's kind of a little idea that I just think would be so fun. And literally, I think you could just do all sorts of things with this, because you could obviously have it stuck down just on the two wings. And then if I just cut, just going to cut one of the journaling cards out. Yeah, I love these pretty blues. They're really nice. So if we just literally cut around like that. And again, obviously I haven't coffee dyed the back of this or anything like that. So literally, you know, you could just have kind of that down as a, so if we just pop that lace back, oops, and then you could have a bit of lace down there, a bit of, oh, I can't get hold of that now, a bit of diamante, you know, just kind of stuck there really. And then you could just have this little butterfly stuck down here kind of in the wings, pop on a bit of trim or, you know, whatever you wanted really in the middle. And then you could obviously have this as a little kind of pocket on the page. And I think that looks really pretty. And I'm just having a look through the kit, because you possibly could actually cut out another butterfly. So here, for instance, we've got another one of the same butterflies, but obviously on a much smaller scale. Just cut that one out. Oh, it's blowing a gale here. Again, I mean, obviously I do these videos and then I'm, you know, trying to get ahead of the game, so I don't know when I will upload this, and it might be that when I upload it, actually the weather's glorious sunshine, and anyone here in the UK watching will think, what's she talking about? It's lovely weather. But today, as I film this video, it's literally blowing a gale, and it's not actually raining at the moment. It has been raining earlier, and it is forecast to rain again, but it's one of those horrible grey miserable days, which is such a shame. So I just want to say thank you actually for everyone's lovely comments of late. And, you know, as I said when I first came on, I literally feel a bit embarrassed to, oh, I'm back again with another digi. But I've said this recently, you know, I seem to be on a kind of bit of a digi thing at the moment. And, you know, obviously you just have to kind of go where your creative kind of flow takes you. So you could have that one kind of stuck in there. And then you could obviously have the wings kind of flapping there. And then if I just popped that, oh gosh, on top, how pretty does that look? I love that. Yes, I really love that. So I'm not going to obviously glue it down onto this because this is just another piece of paper, which actually is from another kit, which I've yet to do a video of yet. But that's just to give you an idea. And I rather like that kind of off to the side. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, if I kind of decide to use this idea in a journal, I would probably have it like that, stuck to the side like that, and this one kind of on the top, maybe that pearl trim there, like that. You know, I mean, you could always have kind of a different butterfly there, but I think it looks really, really nice across there. So that's kind of one little nugget, I suppose, for using the kit. And another thing that I thought that would be rather nice, so this is again taking inspiration a little bit from the Creative Cafe Girl you know, video that inspired me recently to kind of do a little craft with me. So she did those flip downs, and what I thought was you could do a flip down but a long one, you know. Don't know whether it would be long or wide, but hers were kind of tall and thin, quite narrow. So I've just taken here just some coffee dyed paper, and I did cut this down before obviously coming on to do the video. But if I just kind of show you where I was going with this idea. So if I just cut out another piece from the kit, and I mean literally I have not thought about this or, you know, kind of thought which pieces I'm going to use or anything. So, you know, there are probably pieces that maybe, you know, when it came to it, I would maybe kind of prefer to use, but I'm just literally, you know, kind of doing some ideas here, really. So, just cut that like that. There we go. So I kind of thought that you could have one of these but as a flip down like this way up, and I would probably trim that down slightly now because it looks quite big for the piece. So kind of more like that, I think. Oops, now I've got that upside down. Kind of more like that. And then again, I mean, if I were kind of going with the, you know, the white lace theme, I would maybe have a bit of white lace there. I would probably cut off the top bit that's kind of like a seam. You know, to me that looks like a seam. So I would probably cut that off and kind of cut that down. Or, I mean, you know, I've got this gorgeous kind of teal colour lace. Maybe kind of even layer that up with the white. That looks quite pretty. And again, maybe kind of just have a couple of those little pearl, I don't know what they're called, but pearl trim kind of droplets there. And then I've got obviously those little stamps. Let me try and find the page that they're actually on. So hold fire for a moment while I just try and get the stamps. So here I've got a little stamp, and I've also got one here which is exactly the same as the stamp on there. So I can cut around those. Like that. So if I just cut around that. Oops. I'm standing up doing this video. I tend to kind of do these standing for some reason. I think because I start by standing when I'm showing the kit, and then I end up doing the whole thing standing up, which I don't know, it's not really kind of the best thing to do really, I think, but never mind. And probably just kind of have like literally a little bit of diamante or something like that down there, which, you know, I just think that looks really pretty just exactly like that. You could always do a little bit of stamping in the corners or something if you wanted to, but I mean, it's not really necessary. It looks really quite pretty just literally as it is. You know, you could always put a little flower there, which actually I did also bring along. Got this flower trim, which I managed to pick up recently. I've had this before, but not in this colour. And oddly enough, again, I'd bought this several weeks ago. So way before I kind of, you know, imagined the kit. And yeah, I just this morning when I was kind of gathering bits for the video, I thought, oh, those flowers might go quite nicely. So you could have it kind of like that. So if I just pick this up gently to kind of show you guys. And the reason I'm not really gluing anything down is because I may decide to coffee dye the kit before I actually use it. So kind of holding fire a little bit while I decide kind of how to use it, whether to coffee dye it or not. So that's kind of that piece there. And then obviously, now when I do this, obviously everything's going to drop off, but you'd then have the flip down kind of going on there. So, you know, that's another little, you know, nuggets, I suppose, of information or, you know, ideas. And then the other kind of thing that I did just wonder about, so again, I've got this gorgeous flower that we made during the Fabulous Flowers series, and I've just literally brought that along to kind of demonstrate again just how gorgeous that would look against one or two of the background pages. So, you know, I'm just kind of literally kind of showing you, I suppose, like, you know, the colours, how beautiful that they look kind of together. So that's that. And then the other thing that I did wonder is whether you could kind of mix it up and do some kind of you know, adding other colours to the kit. So I'm not really quite sure how I think this works, you know, whether I think it works or not, but it was just something that I was kind of toying with, and I thought I would kind of just throw in there as a little additional thing. So, you know, here I've got kind of some pink and some purple kind of embellishment pieces, and I just wondered whether you could kind of mix it up a little bit and add some other colours to it. I mean, again, those flowers look quite pretty, kind of in between that little butterfly or the pink ones. Oh, they look quite striking, don't they? So, you know, kind of just if you wanted to kind of do something a little bit different, then I just thought maybe kind of throwing in another kind of colourway just by the lace perhaps that you're using, or, you know, flowers or some gemstones, or, you know, anything at all really. I just thought, so if I just pop this piece down again, you know, as we kind of had it more or less, and I just thought, just, you know, to kind of like, if you wanted to mix it up and kind of do something different, then I just kind of thought maybe kind of mixing up colour would be the way to go. As I say, I mean, I'm not quite convinced, but I'm not very adventurous, I think, when it comes to mixing up colours. I mean, I do love bright colours, and I kind of love putting lots of colours together, but I'm not very good, you know, kind of if a kit is essentially blues, I'll stick with blues, if that makes sense. So, you know, but if I just bring that up to the camera to kind of show you guys, I think there's something quite nice about that. And yeah, maybe it would kind of just add something a little bit different. And actually, I've just kind of noticed that I've still got this obviously big butterfly beside me. And I just thought, actually, you could just put that on. So again, this is our just flip down piece. Obviously, I've trimmed that down a little bit too small now, but you could pop that on. Again, you could have it kind of double layered with the one in the middle. And then you could obviously pop just that pink butterfly in the middle of there. How gorgeous does that look? I just think that looks really, really pretty. So kind of, you know, even if the colour wasn't kind of on every page, you could just kind of, you know, sounds a bit lame here, but, you know, like as an element of surprise and something kind of different to do, you could just kind of just every now and then on odd pages just incorporate a, you know, splash of colour, which, you know, maybe would be just really, really nice and kind of make it really different and kind of standing out. And I'm just having a look through my stash to see if I've got anything else pink. I haven't really. Kind of got this little pink paper flower, but I'm not feeling that's quite right. But anyway, I just thought I would come on and give you a couple of kind of ideas really of things that you can do with the kit. Definitely for me, loving the idea of cutting out this big butterfly, and yeah, I actually really love it on this flip down, and I also really love it as a kind of piece, you know, as a kind of pocket itself. And as I say, obviously you've got absolutely loads of options with different pieces that you could do that kind of thing with. I mean, here again, you've got another massive butterfly, which you could kind of cut that out and then you could fold it in half and you could have it going in half, you know, kind of around a page. Does that make sense? So I'll cut that out and kind of demonstrate what I mean, because I don't know how much sense I'm really making, but I will just show you. Because sometimes it's nice to kind of do things that are really kind of different, isn't it? So I just, yeah, think that this might be a little bit of a different way to use the kit and a different effect that you will get from doing this. So I'll just cut around him. And as I say, I mean, these papers I have printed onto 160 GSM cardstock, so they're not kind of on flimsy paper. So if you were going to use them as a kind of, you know, pocket or a tuck spot or anything like that, you may just want to kind of make sure that you're printing onto, you know, thickish paper. So yeah, just something kind of probably to bear in mind there. So I'll just... There we go. I'll just move these pieces out of the way. So I'll just cut round here. Like that. Okay. So you've now got this massive butterfly, and I just wondered whether you could then have it literally tucked around the page, so you had kind of half on one side, half on the other side. So obviously I'm doing this in a rush, but I mean, you could obviously take a little bit more time about how you're folding that. So you've got kind of half of its body, you know, kind of more down the middle there. But I am obviously just rushing this for kind of camera's sake, but you could have that kind of like that on the page, which again, I mean, I think that just looks really cute. And obviously if you had that kind of, you know, I'm not going to open this because it's as I say, it's for another video that I've yet to do, but you know, you could obviously have it there and there kind of around a page. Or indeed, again, if this was coffee dyed, you know, for me, I kind of would prefer the back to be coffee dyed. You could obviously just sew this into the signature like that. So you'd have effectively, you know, your journal pages. If I just kind of fold the page here to kind of demonstrate. And then you'd have this one kind of flapping as a little kind of journal page on its own. Which again, I mean, I just think that's really, really nice to kind of have options and kind of do different, you know, different types of things. I mean, this particular one is obviously a bit too big to actually have on the page, you know, on its own. But equally, you could actually cut that in half, you know, and kind of just have literally, I'll just show you. You could kind of just have half on a page, which I mean, I think that's quite nice. And then kind of, again, decorate that up. So if it was, say, on the edge, you know, on the edge of a page, and oops, let me move these things out of the way. Sorry, I'm getting now messy kind of bits everywhere. That's probably then looking very confusing and not very aesthetically pleasing to anybody watching. So if you had that kind of on the edge of a page, and then again you could just have a bit of lace kind of running down with it. Again, you could kind of have a little bit of, you know, diamante or something. I've got a little bow here, or you know, you could just have kind of a bit of trim down there, or you know, however kind of you felt really. So like that. Or I'll just bring this back. You could have it kind of poking out. So you could have a kind of pocket or something on the page, and then you could just have this kind of coming out as if, you know, flying out from the piece there. So, you know, I think you've got quite a lot of options, and I just thought I would kind of cover a little bit of, you know, having a bit of a play really with the kit. So I hope that there were some useful bits there in my kind of very scatty kind of ideas part of the video. Hope you like the kit. Obviously the link's below to my Etsy shop where the kit is listed, and I really look forward to having a play with it myself. So go and check it out if you like it, and thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you all again soon. Thanks, Em. Bye.